what monster effects do and what type of effects are good. Hey guys, my name is YuGiOh and I want to help this guy named HBros, been commenting in my previous video. He wants to know a few things about YuGiOh Duel Links, what makes up a good deck and stuff. So I'm gonna help out, just answering some of those questions and see if I can get answered or not. So HBro asks, what makes a good deck / card? Well, let me first get the card thing out the way because there's just no good card in the game. Take for example the Winged Dragon of Ra, which was considered in the anime at least the most powerful card to have in the game, right? It's not that great. The reason why is because after having read the whole card description, none of it says anything about this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. So just use a card effect to destroy it. For example, use Reigeki Break. Discard one card, destroy a card that's on the field. There goes the Winged Dragon of Ra. You wasted your time summoning Winged Dragon of Ra to just get it destroyed. And well, there goes all the free monsters that you had on the field just to have this card destroyed. Yeah, that's what makes no card the best card in the game. Another prime example of what is a good card to have in the deck is this one, the Cosmic Cyclone. Yes, even though a lot of players do use it and it is ranked one of the top 3 cards to have in the deck, it's still not the best card. The reason why is because, well, you're paying 1000 life points to just banish a spell or trap card that's on the field. That 1000 life points can be kind of costly, especially when you have a life points of 4000. And also, if your life points is under 1000, you're not gonna be able to activate this card at all. So that's why this card isn't that great. And also, there's cards that can help negate this card's effect. Take for example the Magician Navigation. If you banish this card, you can target a card that's face up on the field and negate that effect. Negating a card's effect means that that card's effect will be just blocked and you just can't use the card at all. It just becomes pretty much a throwaway card. So that's why I say there is no good card in a deck, because every card can be countered. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have it in your deck at all. But just know that every card can be countered. Every card is powerful in their own way, and they do have their own weaknesses. Now, the other question of what makes a good deck, now that is a bit hard to say because every deck has their own strengths and weaknesses. Take for example the Blue Eyes deck, right? The Blue Eyes deck is all about getting the Blue Eyes White Dragon card onto the field as soon as possible. Now all the cards of Blue Eyes White Dragon, they heavily center their play around the Blue Eyes White Dragon for it to either be on the field or in the graveyard. Now the Blue Eyes White Dragon card is really powerful, obviously, with its attack points of 3000, but it's just a normal card, meaning that this card has no special effect, like something like this card can't be destroyed by battle or something like that. So that means that this card can easily be destroyed either by battle or by card effects, so either spell or trap cards or even just a monster effect, which means that this deck can be easily countered by, once again, what I said, spell, traps, and monster effects. So that's why it's kind of hard to say that you should definitely make this deck because it's so strong. But in reality, it's not that strong because every deck, as I said, has their own weaknesses and can be countered just depending on what cards you have. But when it comes to actually making a good deck, I feel like there is 2 things for making a good deck. One of them is being able to combo off the cards. So if you have one card that can activate its effect in collaboration with another card's effect, then that's a pretty good deck. And then the other one would be being able to block out the right cards that you need from your deck. A great example of this is the Aroma deck that I made. Links to that video in the description down below or in the card above. This deck has a couple of cards that can, 1, combo, and 2, lets you pluck out cards from your deck. Take for example the Aroma Gardening card, which allows you to get an Aroma monster from your deck and put straight onto the field. Now this can only happen when your life points is lower than your opponent's, so this card isn't that strong. So as I said before, that cards have their own weaknesses and strengths. So this card's weakness is that for that effect to happen, you need to have your life points lower than your opponent's. But anyways, going back to its main effect of bringing out a specific card straight onto the field, that helps the deck because 1, you're getting the specific card that you actually need from your deck, and 2, reducing the size of your deck. And how I said in the video before, reducing the size of your deck is really important because it helps you get the card that you actually need from your deck, and obviously reducing the chances of you getting the card that you actually need from your deck. And also this card's effect of when you normal summon or special summon a aroma monster, then you can gain 1000 life points. And most of the aroma monster cards, they have that effect of when you gain life points, then this card's effect activate. So that already allows you to create just a couple of combos. And that's why I say that decks that have combos, or decks that have a card that lets you pluck out cards from your deck, those are the best decks. I feel like that's the case of making a good deck, but I'm sure maybe some other player might disagree with that, but I feel like those are the cards that make up a good deck. Now, to know what cards work together, the only way you can find out is only hitting the related cards button. So if I hit that right now, it shows me all the cards that are related to this card, and pretty much tells you what cards can combo off the card, because this Aroma Garden card obviously is specified on Aroma Monsters, so that's why it's giving me all the Aroma Monsters. But it's also giving me some Aroma Spell and Trap cards, which obviously relate to the Aroma cards. That's why I said in the video previously to hit that related cards button so that you can see what cards are related to it, and as well as what cards that you can use to combo from them. Hey guys, it's Future Me once again. I've realized I have messed up with what I said about how hitting the related cards button will only help you find some nice card combos, and that is the only way to find some nice card combos. Well, that's not the case, because, well, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to find this card right here, Gozuki, to be added into the deck. So as I said in the previous video, a good way to find some nice card combos is by using the text search and search using specific keywords. So I found by, well, taking a look at all the Shiranui cards, I found out there are zombie cards, and they all, at least for the Spectral Sword card itself, it needed to be in the graveyard. So that's why I searched up zombie and graveyard, and that's how I came across this card Gozuki and added it onto the deck. So I guess that was one way of finding out some nice card combos, and there is some other ways of knowing how to make some good card combos, but that might be a bit too long to explain. I could most probably answer it better in another video. So for now, just use the text search, hit in some keywords depending on what your cards that you have in your deck, and that will help find some new cards to add on to the deck for creating some additional card combos. The other question he asked was how to get the cards because he's a free-to-play player. I think that's what he said. I want to be a... Never mind. So there's about 4 ways of getting cards. One would be to get gems, to use them to purchase packs within the shop. I made a video on how to get gems. The link to that is in the description below, or in the card above. The other way of getting cards would be to check out the card trader here. When you click on him, you can see a bunch of cards that he's selling. It does refresh every now and then, so be sure to check it out. And as well as check out the regular inventory, there's a few more cards that you can get in here. There's a lot of cards, so they might help out with making up your deck. Another way is to get these card tickets. Now these card tickets, you can obtain them through events and as well as winning your PvP matches. So depending on the rarity of the card ticket, so for example here we have just the rare one, and then it goes super rare and ultra rare. These card tickets will allow you to get, well, cards of that ranking. So if we click on the super rare card here, you can see that all of these cards are labeled super rare, and well, seeing that I only have one of that ticket, I can use that ticket to get any one of these specific cards. So that will help with getting some extremely powerful cards without having to use gems. Another way to obtain cards is to actually play through one of these events. So something like the Karibo event that we have right here, it allows you to get a card ticket, which I said before about the card tickets. So just play through these events that they have that's going on every now and then to get some more additional cards. And then the last question of what monster effects do and what type of effects are good. let me just say there's too many card effects, okay? There's so many card effects in the game, and they all have their own individual rules, and it's really hard to say that. It's hard to say to just pinpoint it down to say that this is that effect and this is that effect. It's too hard to say that. But there is a way to just filter it down. So if you go under the card inventory, if you hit down the filter button, you can filter it down to effects here. So card effects from increasing life points, damage and life points. All of that is there. And it will try to filter it down to as simple as possible, but it's still a bit too much. So take for example for special summoning, if I filter it down to that, and now if I click for maybe something like this, it has that effect of special summoning, but it also has another effect. If you go down here, right here on the bottom, it says gain 2050 life points. So yeah, there's a lot of card effects that has multiple effects on its own. So it's hard to say what effects are good, and especially when you're building a deck that has specific effects. So something like the Blue Eyes deck, specifically summoning Blue Eyes from your deck or your graveyard. So it's really hard to say what effects are good, because it just depends on what your deck is and what it needs to do. So I can't really answer that question, I'm sorry. It's too hard to say what effects are good. So if you found this video helpful in some way and maybe entertaining for you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will be making, you know, future Yu-Gi-Oh decks as per usual, because well, every card pack comes out and it allows me to create some more decks. And also let me remind you guys that I do stream on Twitch. The link is in the description below, so if you want to talk to me more about some good decks or something about Yu-Gi-Oh, then feel free to drop on by and I can easily talk to you there rather than talking to you in a video like this. And also to make sure to follow me through Twitter. I do tweet out when I'm going live or just some channel updates, so make sure to follow me there. And so guys, thank you for watching and I shall see you guys later. 10 pull-ups? Alright, count with me guys. Oh my lord, you guys. Right.